about your relationship with Drake.
I love him. We just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more.
Millie Bobby Brown is looking more and more like an adult after an extreme makeover that has people comparing her to Britney Spears rather than the little kid we saw grow up on the set of Stranger Things. As she and her new boyfriend, Jake Bongiovanni, parade each other around on Instagram, the first half of the newest season of Stranger Things has just dropped. People are losing their minds over the show, which will release the second half of the season later in the year. Today we're covering Millie Bobby Brown, one of the stars from Stranger Things. Tomorrow though, you decide. Let us know in the comments down below who you think we should cover on the next few episodes of Where Are They Now. While you're down there, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it so we know to keep making more just like it. Now let's get into it. Millie Bobby Brown was born in Spain to English parents. Surprisingly, she's actually deaf in one ear after she had partial hearing loss before losing it all over the span of several years. She and her family moved back to England when she was 4 years old, although she would move again to Orlando, Florida when she was 8. When Millie was just coming into her preteen years, she expressed serious interest in acting. Her ever supportive parents not only allowed her to pursue an acting career, but they actually sold everything they owned and moved to Los Angeles to help Millie achieve her dream. According to the actress, however, the family went through some serious rough times before she was able to land her role in Stranger Things. They had even contemplated asking her to give up on her dream so that they could move somewhere cheaper, but luckily that didn't need to happen. Surprisingly, Millie didn't make her acting debut with Stranger Things though. In fact, she began her career in 2013 as a guest star on the ABC fantasy drama series Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, a spin-off of the show Once Upon a Time. She played the role of young Alice. In 2014, she had her first starring role in the BBC America paranormal drama thriller series called Intruders. She's also made guest appearances in the CBS police show NCIS, in Modern Family, and in Grey's Anatomy. It wasn't until 3 years into her acting career that Millie would be cast as Eleven in Netflix's new show Stranger Things. Reportedly, she had learned how to speak with an American accent while watching the Disney Channel as a kid. When the show first televised, it was an insanely massive hit and propelled Millie to a bona fide celebrity at only 12 years old. She received critical praise for her role and was nominated for the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series. She was also nominated for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. She won a SAG Award by an ensemble with her co-stars and won the 43rd Saturn Award for Best Performance by a Younger Actor in a Television Series. In 2018, Millie also branched out into the Enola Holmes mystery, which she both starred in and produced. In this time frame, Millie was named one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine. Also in 2018, this girl's on fire, Millie began dating Jacob Sartorius. It was honestly kind of cute in like a little kid love way. They just took a bunch of photos together with like the dog Snapchat filters. The relationship only lasted 7 months, which for a teenager I think is a pretty long time honestly. They both had to release statements on their Instagram stating that they decided to part ways but remain friends. Later that year, Millie became UNICEF's youngest Goodwill ambassador, where she pledged to speak out for the millions of children whose voices are silenced across the world, empower them, and make sure they understand their rights. In 2018, someone created a rumor on Twitter that Millie was homophobic and ran over gay people with her car. The rumor was obviously extremely untrue, but some people took it a bit too far, and it became too big of a meme that she was forced to delete her personal Twitter account after it became too much for the young star. Also, in a weird way, Millie became involved in some rather suspicious friendships with Drake. Although nothing explicitly happened between the two, people thought it was a little weird that Drake was so close to the then underage star. Millie said that she went to a Drake concert in Australia and was invited backstage by the man himself after the show. After they posed for pictures together, the two spoke about how close they were with one another. She describes first meeting him as, quote, "This moment was amazing. I was in his dressing room with his whole family. He invited me to the show. He was having a fanboy moment, I was having a fangirl moment, and I'll never forget it." While that isn't inherently creepy, people have pointed out that Drake tends to be linked to freshly 18-year-old women. He was previously with 18-year-old Bella Harris, an Instagram model, while he was 30. At the 2018 Emmys, when Millie was 14 years old, she gushed to a reporter about her friendship with the rapper. Quote, "I love him. He's honestly a great friend and a great role model. You know we text. We just texted each other the other day and he was like, I miss you so much, and I was like, I miss you more. He's great, he's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited. According to the British actress, the two frequently talk about boys, with Drake offering Brown some much needed, presumably grown-up advice. However, she wouldn't be pressed to divulge what the two of them discuss specifically. On paper, it's not wrong, nor is it illegal, it just feels weird, I guess. One Twitter user stated about their relationship, quote, I have a niece around Millie's age. If she came over here talking about a 31-year-old man texting her, I'd hit the roof. Although Drake himself hasn't said anything about the relationship, Millie said on Instagram, quote, why you gotta make a lovely friendship your headline? You guys are weird. She then went on to claim that Drake was someone who'd helped her navigate the entertainment industry at such a young age. Even though Millie tried to put it to rest, people still think the whole thing is pretty creepy. I personally am terrified of teenagers and would never be caught dead talking to one willingly, let alone as a friend, but I don't know. Recently though, we've seen Millie completely change her look around. She used to look a lot like her character in Stranger Things with the cute brown short hair, but very recently she's sporting a much more grown-up look. Her hair is now long, blonde, and very sleek. She honestly resembles Britney Spears a lot based on her makeup looks and how she carries herself, especially since she started dating Jake Bongiovanni. Millie seems to be presenting herself as more and more of the adult that she's growing into. You may recognize Jake's last name, and that's because he is the son of John Bon Jovi. The two first made their relationship Instagram official all the way back in June 2021 when they posted pictures of each other getting super close and cuddly. The pair's relationship quickly heated up as they continued sharing their romantic milestones via Instagram, celebrating the holidays and Brown's 18th birthday together. He captioned a birthday post for Millie, quote, happy birthday Barbie, I love you, after they dressed as Barbie and Ken for her recent birthday back in February. While the pair, who made their red carpet debut 1 month later, have seldom discussed their blossoming connection thus far, Brown subtly revealed that they don't have the same interests. Quote, I have so much fun watching Olivia Rodrigo's videos and listening to her music. I don't really involve myself because I know she's just too brilliant. I love her song One Step Forward, Three Steps Back. Makes me want to cry every time. I think my boyfriend's gonna kill me if I listen to it around him anymore. On top of her calling him her boyfriend, Millie walked the 2022 BAFTA red carpet with a young man as she was on hand to present the award for Best Supporting Actor. She wore a black Louis Vuitton gown while her man donned a dapper Fendi suit. Although it sucks when it comes to lack of things to say about the relationship in this video, I mean scripting it kinda sucked, I do think it's a good thing that Millie and Jake are so private about their relationship. Especially given how young they are, you want them to be free from the weirdness of the internet when you're getting to know each other and forming romantic relationships. They're super cute on Instagram, but I like that they're taking their own time with everything. So do you think Millie is eventually going to be an A-list celebrity actor as she ages? Let us know in the comments down below.
Taking our 10th spot is Matt LeBlanc. Recently, the public noticed Matt seemed to look very unlike his past self when he was spotted sporting baggy sweats and facial stubble. The Joni Tribbiani Friends actor doesn't make many public appearances, but the paparazzi managed to catch him at a Sherman Oaks body shop one day, and the response was crazy. The rare sighting lines up with fans' heavy expressions of concern for Matt's friend and co-star Matthew Perry, who we'll be breaking down a bit further into today's list. As someone who was once credited for being the heartthrob of Friends himself, now being a bit older and probably wiser, Matt seems rather unfazed by the number of beauty standards his iconic character was held to. In fact, he's even allowed his hair to go naturally gray and doesn't seem to mind not keeping its maintenance. Nonetheless, the biggest thing that made Matt's Friends character Joey so amazing was his confident humor, which is thankfully still very much intact with Matt now. Subscribe and tap the notification bell to never miss another update about your favorite celebrities. Taking our 9th spot is 50 Cent. After 50 Cent's surprise 2022 Super Bowl halftime appearance in LA, he became an instant meme due to his hanging upside down entrance. Viewers pretty much took their mockery about the artist to an entirely new level, as the instant repercussions from the show involved social media collectively fat-shaming 50 Cent. For the performance, 50 Cent recreated portions of his 2003 music video, but rather than going shirtless as he did in the original scenes, he instead wore a white tank top. The response from fans came shortly after, with people saying the musician looked unrecognizable. To clap back, 50 Cent posted a picture of him backstage with rapper Eminem, captioning the post, "I call this teasing me. They're just teasing me because they know I can drop the weight. That's why I'm laughing with them. Fat shaming only applies when you're ashamed of your fat, lol." Taking our 8th spot is Matthew Perry. Reeling back a bit, let's get into Matthew. Since the reunion of Friends took place, Matthew has seemed more unlike his past self than ever, according to his supporters. This could have a lot to do with the actor's admission that he openly struggles with addiction. Because of this recent revelation, numerous fans are hanging on to fears that he will relapse, as they did previously. This specifically reached a notable breaking point for fans back in May 2021. At the time, Matthew took part in a sit-down with his Friends co-star and People magazine for their cover issue. Fans of the actor began pointing out that he didn't seem responsive in a normal way, and rather than his typical comedic approach and tone, Matthew was said to be nodding off and slurring his speech. At some point, a YouTuber commented, "I know we're all sad about Matthew, but let's remember he has suffered a lot of health-related issues and he has struggled with addiction. Let's all be kind and polite and remember all the funny moments he gave us as Chandler." Most recently, Matthew seems to be doing much better with his health and sobriety in general. Taking our 7th spot is John Travolta. John became a quick household name by starring in classic films like Pulp Fiction and Grease, both of which the actor donned some of the most iconic hairstyles and looks. However, there was a single Instagram post of John which changed fans' views of him since, claiming he now looks unidentifiable. In the quick video uploaded to the media sharing platform, the post of John was captioned, "John, thanks everyone for wishing you a happy birthday." Now when the actor's name comes up in recent times, it's a fact that most people immediately reference his signature hairstyles from his younger days, so it makes sense that fans were in complete shock when he turned up completely bald on social media. John has been referenced to look like a walking Mr. Clean ad or similar to an audition for Professor X, all clowning coming from his fans. On the other hand though, it doesn't seem that bad to me personally. Still, there are fans who still have no idea how to wrap their head around hairless John. One publication also stated, quote, "I can't believe John Travolta is bald now, and also 69 next year, but also bald." Taking our 6th spot is Courtney Cox, our final Friends star to grace today's list. This sitcom legend got 100% candid with the world earlier this year about her former cosmetic procedures, as well as her excitement to turn 60 in 2 years. The actress opened up about her personal journey of aging as she promoted her new comedy horror TV series Shining Val, which premiered in March of this year under the Stars Network and has Rob Morrow and Greg Kinnear as her co-stars. When speaking of her evolving facial features over the years to the Sunday Times style outlet, the mom of one explained how she finally embraced her age. Quote, "I feel like I'm young. I have a lot of friends in their 30s and I don't think about it. To me, we're the same age until I actually study it." When dishing about her upcoming transition into her 60s, Courtney finalized, "Oh god, it's so hard to even hear or say. I can't believe it. There's nothing wrong with being 60, I just can't believe it. Time goes so fast. There's no question that I'm more grounded. I've learned so much in my life, what to enjoy, what to try to do more of, and what to let go of." Taking our 5th spot is Alec Baldwin. Alex transitioned from the fan-proclaimed shirtless tan hottie in 1990s Miami Blues to a controversial, quote, "scruffy, low-budget actor" is pretty startling. Over time, Alec was plagued with a string of public disputes, most recently because of his involvement in the low-cost film Russ. As the leader of the hot Baldwin brothers, Alec was dubbed as the attractive leading man in romance films like Prelude to a Kiss and The Marrying Man. He was able to show off his comedic chops in 30 Rock and on SNL, and even portrayed a silver fox in It's Complicated. However, nowadays Alec seems to appear exhausted and beside himself. For obvious reasons, onlookers deemed he was totally unrecognizable when he handed over his phone to the Suffolk County Sheriff's Office, a device that was believed to hold information containing the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins back in October 2021. Taking our 4th spot is Meg Ryan. Meg's career as an actress started in 1981 with miniature roles prior to her joining the CBS cast for their soap opera As the World Turns a year later. Following this, Meg began making appearances in various supporting roles in big box office films from the 1980s like When Harry Met Sally and Top Gun. By the end of the decade, Meg gained massive widespread attention for the receival of her initial Golden Globe nominations, establishing her as an actor known across the globe. Whenever Atlantic comedy films are involved, you best believe everyone was hoping to cast Meg. Because of this, Meg quickly grew into one of the most successful actresses of the 90s and early 2000s. However, in 2015, during a Paris event, also known as her first public appearance in 14 months at the time, many faced severe shock when they noticed her nose looking notably different, as well as Meg's eyes appeared to be much more unusual, resulting in people branding her as unrecognizable from her past self. Taking our 3rd spot is Jennifer Grey. After Jennifer starred in the Dirty Dancing film, many noted how unaware she was of just how famous she was shaping up to become. Even though the movie didn't have a great performance at award ceremonies, it grew widely popular for specific lines and scenes from the film. However, then Jennifer decided to go under the knife for a bit of cosmetic procedures after the big screen success. What I'm sure she didn't expect to happen was for the public to brand her infamous nose job as the procedure from, quote, hell. Jennifer herself even stated that she was completely unrecognizable, informing the Mirror that she entered the operating room as a celebrity and left an anonymous person. Her nose job tied in with all the other work done to her face completely altered her physical appearance to the point where original fans of the film were unable to recognize her afterwards. Quote, "I had my ears pinned back, I had injections in my lips, I had my chin shaved down, I had my breast redone." Taking our 2nd spot is Angus Jones. Angus is mostly known for portraying Jake Harbour in CBS's 2.5 Men sitcom, which he eventually was awarded 2 Young Artist Awards and a TV Land Award for. As the most popular US sitcom at the time, the show averaged a watching audience of about 15 million viewers. And by 2010, Angus was the highest paid child star on television. When Angus began to naturally age, as everyone does, he was given an awkward new adult storyline for the show because, as an older man, he was unable to receive innocent mannerisms and childish lines from writers that his character character Jake was so well known for. By the fall of 2012, Angus described his decision to be baptized and no longer desired working on the show. He even took things as far as deeming the show filth and claimed it conflicted with his newly discovered religious views, dubbing him as unrecognizable, not for his looks this time, but because the complete 360 of his attitude. Taking our first spot is Heidi Montag. Heidi was a pretty established person in the industry due to her leading character on MTV's show The Hills, a scripted series made up of groups of friends, enemies, and lovers in LA, altered to seem like it was a reality show. According to reports, Heidi had an obsession with the idea of changing how she physically looked. In a Radar Online report, Heidi once stated, "I didn't know what an eyebrow lift and a chin reduction once was, so once he kinda told me everything that was wrong with me, I felt really insecure, and he gave me a really great deal on it. He didn't tell me how extensive it was going to be, how severe, how painful, so I had no idea." After this, the publication went on to list the procedures Heidi took part in back in 2010. Of course, with this many, she looked completely unlike her former self, but instead of being shocked by it, Heidi told the outlet, "I think I look way better and I'm way happier. Nobody ages perfectly, so I plan to keep using my surgery to make me as perfect as I can be." Since this, Heidi has definitely garnered attention, however, it begs to differ at what cost was it worth. It's great that she has no regrets about changing herself so drastically because it's her personal choice, and it seems she needed to do so for health reasons as well. This was explained in an Entertainment Tonight interview in which Heidi concluded, "I've had numbness in my arm as well from pinched nerves because of everything, so my arm has been going on and off for several months now." Taking our 10th spot is Britney Spears. 90s pop icon Britney was thriving in her time, but she momentarily hit rock bottom before making a widely talked about comeback. Through all that, Britney's undergone a stunning transformation and is pretty unrecognizable from her younger days. Her glittery pop culture career saw troubled storms for a long while though, and the Grammy-winning singer's sweet image slowly withered away due to reported mental health issues in the 2000s. There was also the awful custody battle with her ex for her sons. But this didn't stop Britney from bouncing back in both her professional and personal life. Even though she no longer holds onto that girl next door image, and she's currently wrapped up in an odd little public spat with her sister, Jamie Lynn, she's still breaking records only possible from a true queen. Before we jump into number 9, click the notification bell if you aren't already updated on our content to get notified every time we post. Taking our 9th spot is Alicia Silverstone. This iconic actress is best known for her leading role in the timeless 90s flick Clueless, gaining mega fame overnight for her portrayal of Cher Horowitz. And while Alicia is no young girl anymore, however, what she is pretty unrecognizable. Thanks to her older, more mature looks, she's more recently taken on a mom role rather than that of a teen, playing Christy's parent in Netflix's modern reboot of The Babysitter's Club. The series pays homage to the popular book series from the 90s, penned by author Anne M. Martin. As a parent to children in real life, Alicia previously reflected on how the part hits close to home for her during an interview. Quote, "It's such a different existence when you have kids and you're working, and if you're alone too as a single mom, which my character is, and I am too. It's a lot." Taking our 8th spot is Christina Aguilera. Christina was one of the 90s biggest stars, but nowadays you may have to do a double take to spot her in the large crowd. Of course, like many others, she's matured and now has 2 children. Christina was one of the many celeb alums of the famed 90s Mickey Mouse Club franchise though. However, according to Billboard, the powerhouse singer went from a gentle teen to a quote, braid-flaunting diva in the time span of a few years. Since this, Christina has been able to see few reinventions for herself, slowly but surely settling into a stripped-back vibe overall. Through her prime days, Christina kept herself busy. She dropped a handful of albums, took on multiple world tours, was on the judging panel for The Voice for several years, and purchased a Beverly Hills Mediterranean-style mansion. As of September 2020, Christina fell into a more low-key life within the industry. Her biggest focus is being a mom, a role she takes quite seriously, as she goes all out for her kids. Her son, Max Liren, is shared with her ex-husband Jordan Bratman, and her daughter, Summer Rain, was welcomed alongside her fiance of over a decade, Matthew Rutler. Taking our 7th spot is Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo is another 90s teen star who's leading a normal life, but looks completely different now. If you grew up in his thriving decade, chances are you and everyone you knew loved this guy. Leonardo is arguably the poster man of a 90s heartthrob, and his physical appeal around the time he was a star of Titanic was unmatched. However, Leonardo actually refers to that portion of his life as surreal, telling Time Out, "It was bizarre. I took a break for a couple of years because it was so intense. I needed to recharge and refocus." Leonardo has surely grown wiser and older since, and many even said he's developed quite the dad bod. But let's not be surprised here. He's still acting as much as he can in his quieter lifestyle. Taking our 6th spot is Nick Carter. Nick, who began his entertainment industry job at 11 years old, looks unreal now compared to his younger days. He's traded in his perfectly styled blonde hair for a darker, sleeker adult cut and has 2 kids. He also recently lost one of his siblings, singer Aaron Carter, back in November. But before all this, Nick was just a young boy who made the life-changing decision to turn down his Mickey Mouse Club series offer to join the Backstreet Boys. From the get-go, Nick was loved across the globe thanks to his singing and dancing skills alongside being good-looking. With the success of the widely popular band Backstreet Boys, Nick soared directly into the bright lights of Hollywood. Even though he's physically unrecognizable, fans are still blessed with him fulfilling his biggest passion of making music. And despite the drama he faced over the years, Nick built up his family, where he and his wife have remained together ever since their first blind date back in 2008, later tying the knot in 2014. Their first child, Odin, was born in 2016, and their daughter was welcomed in 2019. Taking our 5th spot is Justin Timberlake. Like Nick, Justin was mega famous because of his addition to another widely successful band in his time. Nowadays, Justin may look pretty unrecognizable, but back in the 90s, he and Britney were the power couple of the industry, and he sported his signature mop curls and denim on denim fits as the focal point of NSYNC. As of today, Justin is a sophisticatedly refined family guy who is so very different from his youth. He's seen large amounts of success as a soloist and actor, changed up his hairstyle, and somehow continues to age like fine wine. As for Life and Style magazine, Justin and Jessica Biel got married in 2012 and shared 2 kids. For the most part, the star was able to avoid scandals for a long while, except for one night in 2019, a slip-up where he was caught holding hands with one of his co-stars while intoxicated. At that point, Justin had taken to social media to profusely express his regret, and Jessica eventually accepted his apology. He's pretty much managed to remain out of the media's negative crosshairs since. Taking our 4th spot is Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. The Olsen twins look shockingly different from their youth, emphasis on the shocking. Their transformation, though mostly physical, has also evolved in the career aspect as well. Nowadays, the sibling duo own a fashion label named The Row. However, before they got here, they were the tiny Full House stars who gained major fame and moved on to starring parts in films like It Takes Two, Billboard Dad, and Passport to Paris. The twin stars are amongst the most recognized teens in H-Town thanks to their kid-to-teen roles on both silver screens and standard TVs. Mary-Kate and Ashley very smartly adapted that fame into their adulthood too. They leveraged this to become successful and sophisticated women who still prefer to work as a team but also live separate lives as well. The Fashionistas co-founded their fashion label in 2006, and it offers a variety of retail clothing and accessories. Additionally, they kickstarted a vintage-esque label called Elizabeth and James in 2007, earning them well-respect in the fashion community. More so, Mary-Kate and Ashley were named Council of Fashion Designers of America's Accessories Designers of the Year in 2014, 2018, and 2019. Taking our 3rd spot is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This 90s star has taken on the role of father nowadays, and he looks entirely unlike that of his past. Joseph's breakout into the Hollywood scene came about back when he was a baby-faced teenager. In a Variety Fair video segment, the actor sat down with the media outlet to break down his career, starting from A River Runs Through It and discussing his journey all the way to Inception. While Joseph revealed he was slightly embarrassed about his work in 10 Things I Hate About You, he only dished sweet things about the film's cast, as the group was said to have spent a lot of time bonding off set. As a sure grown-up now, Joseph is another 90s star who takes his parental role seriously. So much so that he talked about this with Jimmy Fallon on his Tonight Show, sharing, "I felt lucky I got to take some time off. I have 2 boys and it's the best." Although Joseph hasn't released lots of details regarding his sons, it was confirmed by People that his wife, Tasha McCulley, birthed their eldest in 2015, and the couple welcomed their youngest in 2017. Taking our 2nd spot is Kenan Thompson. Kenan is the 90s teen star who completely changed the acting game. But do you know what else changed? His physical attributes. He's damn near unrecognizable nowadays with his regular Saturday Night Live appearances. Prior to becoming the adult he is now, Nickelodeon was pumping out all the teen sitcoms you could think of, and Kenan's show Kenan and Kel was no exception. And while Kel Mitchell didn't remain prominent in entertainment circles, Kenan for sure did. All grown up today, Kenan has successfully branded himself and his career in comedy and entertainment, and has even won numerous awards for his work. This includes a 2018 Emmy for his Comeback Barack SNL sketch. Kenan also launched a new self-titled series back in 2021. Kenan's most exciting drop though was for his fans of the 90s when he announced he'd be teaming back up with Kel to co-execute and produce an All That reboot. Taking our first spot is Tara Reid. Tara was the typical girl next door star through her additions to comedies including Josie and the Pussycats, American Pie, and Scrubs. The 90s is when Tara was said to have come to prominence. For a brief moment between the late 90s to early 2000s, 2000s, Tara made appearances as a true all-American girl in party shows such as MTV's Fashionably Loud Spring Break, Paradise, and Cancun 2000. Not only this, but Tara has been dominating the meta-parody sci-fi Sharknado series, playing kick-ass survivor April Wexler opposite Ian Ziering from 2013 onwards. Tara has given credit for her character's popularity to Twitter users when she made a return in Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens. At the time, Sci-Fi questioned Twitter users to vote on whether April would live through the ending cliffhanger from the third film. More recently, in Sharknado 6, Tara made a reappearance as the time-traveling bionic-armed April in 2018. Taking our 10th spot is Demi Lovato. Demi was a child actor with extreme focus and dedication, starting off through Barney and Friends, and later working her way up the ladder to appear on Disney Channel's Camp Rock and Princess Protection film series, along with the Sunny with a Chance live-action sitcom. She is best known now as a multi-award winning singer, however she was utilizing both her singing and acting skills to thrive alongside Disney beforehand. Demi has a past of struggling with eating disorders and other mental health issues, but nowadays she learned to fully love and embrace herself and her body, and even dresses in a flashier nature. This month, Demi made her studio return for a new release mere months after she dropped Holy F. The album only came out 3 months prior, but Demi took to TikTok to confirm she's putting together some new bops. While the public can expect her fan fave heavy rock sound from the singer, chances are they'll also be love forward, because Demi and her partner Jordan Lutz, who helped with the penning process of several HF songs, have been going both steady and strong. Before we jump into number 9, comment your fave Disney star below. Taking our 9th spot is Keke Palmer. Keke is one of the most talented people to grace today's countdown, as she seems to excel in everything she tries her hand at. For example, she snagged a recording contract when she was only a teen, and there's no doubt she'd give major models a run for their money if she ever chose to venture down that path. Despite this though, Keke decided to put her musical career to the side to expand her acting jobs. One of these was Keke's addition to the 2007 lineup for Disney's original film Jump In. Earlier this month, the now expecting Nope actress reflected on her journey after she hosted a Saturday Night Live episode where she revealed her pregnancy. It occurred during her opening monologue as she dropped the ball about her first child with her fitness instructor boyfriend Darius Jackson. Keke took a brief Instagram moment to dish about how this year has taken her for a ride, continuing with, "And how cool, my baby and I are already doing it all together. Thank you God, thank you to my amazing parents and family who continuously support me." Taking our 8th spot is Debbie Ryan. Though she's made more of a successful mainstream transition now, in her earlier days, Debbie also jump-started her actress life in children's programs like Barney and Friends. She later gained recognition for her work on Disney and spent a good amount of years on the network playing roles in their movies and shows, including The Sweet Life on Deck, 16 Wishes, Jessie, and Radio Rebel. In her mid-20s now, Debbie has grown up a lot and seems to prefer outfits that complement her curvier figure. Though she's stepped back a bit from the limelight more recently, in August 2020, Debbie gave her Diz Chan characters whole new wardrobes. Debbie typically struts around in luxury labels, and TikTok was no exception to her rise in fashion, as her followers were gifted with iconic style moments when the actress recreated looks from her most famous roles. More than just recreating though, Debbie gave playful references to each part in a modernized way by showing off what each character would be spotted in at Fashion Week. Taking our 7th spot is Nick Jonas. Nick makes up 1/3 of the Jonas Brothers, a sibling group who were the most talked about pop act worldwide at one point. Nick and his brothers made a few cameos in Disney before they landed their own show Jonas, including stints in the Camp Rock movie series and a supporting appearance in Hannah Montana. In the years since, the Joe Bros trio broke up, then made up, and Nick is arguably the most successful solo artist of the three. Still mega famous now, Nick's once boyish curls and thinner adolescent body have upgraded into a ripped superhero type of look. This week, Nick and his wife Priyanka Chopra shared a super rare update on their daughter Multi, as well as the activity she's currently loving. On December 16th, Priyanka updated fans with a heartwarming snap of Multi, Nick, and herself during their family's latest outing. In it, the couple watches their daughter while Multi gazes at the oceanic scene in front of her. Even though Multi's face is covered, anyone can see how much she adores the view, something she seems to share with her mom. Taking our 6th spot is Alyson Stoner. Alyson was a huge deal in Hollywood as a youngin', especially because of her initial rise to prominence as a part of numerous famous music videos, including Missy Elliott's Work It and Eminem's Just Lose It. Alyson developed her public career into acting on screen work after this, becoming a major TV personality and movie star through popular appearances like her 2-season recurring role in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She also acted in the Diz Chan original film Camp Rock. Also in her late 20s now, Alyson has transitioned into a beautifully confident and unapologetic young woman. Over the summer, Alyson faced the music when she admitted to her undergoing past experiences with conversion therapy while exploring her sexuality, and how it left her with emotional scars. The actress then added, "I know firsthand how dangerous it is." Taking our 5th spot is Raven-Symoné. As a star who's proven her worth and incredibly resilient ability to survive in the business of entertainment, Raven's introduction to TV was through her addition to The Cosby Show's cast. She stayed in said position throughout the show's entire run and later moved on to appear in countless others. Raven's acting continuation seeped into roles on Disney, which saw her pop up in between shows, but she eventually landed the title character in That's So Raven, most recently reprising the part in Raven's Home, and she looks quite different nowadays. It's no secret that Raven enjoys expressing herself through her many looks and styles. Year after year, her hairstyles and their colors have drastically elevated. About a week ago, Raven publicly shut down the speculation of her Disney character identifying as lesbian. During discussions prior to the show's creation, Raven detailed how Disney execs approached her with the idea of making her character gay, to which she explained, "The reason I said no wasn't because I wasn't proud of who I was or I didn't want to represent the LGBTQ+ community. It was because Raven Baxter is Raven Baxter. There was no reason for me to change the human that she was in order to fit the actress that played her." Taking our 4th spot is Daniel Curtis-Lee. Disney Channel and Nickelodeon share a lot of similarities, including the fact that they've had years worth of competition with each other in seeking out and obtaining young talent. Resultantly, there aren't many young actors who work on series for both kids' networks. However, Daniel is the exception here. Beginning on Nick's Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, Daniel later moved into Disney XD for their series Zeke and Luther. Even though he was a literal on-screen skater boy at the time, in his mid-20s, Daniel has grown into a fairly attractive male with spiffy fashion. At the start of this month, Ned's Declassified stars Daniel Lindsay Shaw and Devon Werkheiser reunited for their podcast. The actors banded together to tease their chit-chatty show named after their OG series over the past few days. Daniel, Devon, and Lindsay all previously gathered back in February 2020 to drop initial hints at a potential reunion. And while we don't have loads of details on the topic currently, it's safe to say this podcast is both excitingly anticipated and a whole dosage of nostalgia. Taking our 3rd spot is Bella Thorne. Bella managed to take off and garner success following her first major on-screen project, Shake It Up, which made its 2010 premiere and wrapped in 2013. Since then, Bella also starred in the popular short-lived series Famous in Love and made an endless array of movie appearances. In 2017 alone, Bella had 4 movies released and was slated for 5 films featured in 2018. Despite Shake It Up being just as innocent as the rest of Dish Chan's content, it seems Bella felt suffocated by her good girl image, because in her 20s, she now rocks over-the-top makeup, piercings, fewer clothes, and wildly colorful hair. Earlier this week, Bella stunned fans in all black for a special kiss. The actress has a new man and still loves creating content, which may have been the spark behind the spicy new share. Bella's IG carousel opened up with a blurry kissing selfie, fully getting her point across. Eagle-eyed fans noticed Bella's red hair pulled back in a pony as she snapped a pic of the moment with her producer boyfriend Mark Ems. She captioned the series of images, "Spotted in my favorites." Taking our 2nd spot is Bobby J. Thompson. Bobby was best at playing rather vexing characters, but there's no doubt that made him a very talented child star. Though he may be best popularly known for his no-filtered role models character, only a few years prior he was still a major asset to Disney's That's So Raven. As a kid, Bobby's oversized personality and smaller height allowed him to escape a lot of his deviousness on the show unscathed. However, he definitely couldn't rely on this for too long, as in his 20s he's peaked into a ripped figure, sporting heavy tattoos to support his mature, rugged look. Back in 2021, TMZ reported that the actor was detained for allegedly stealing a firearm. According to law enforcement, Bobby was handcuffed for felony possession. The actor was later released after he posted $35,000 in bail. Taking our 1st spot is Dylan Sprouse. This former child star got his start in Grace Under Fire as an infant and later landed a starring role in Adam Sandler's Big Daddy. Making up one of 2 identical twin brothers who often shared roles in the past, Dylan and Cole were given lead parts for Disney's Sweet Life franchise. franchise, each playing their own separate portrayals on the show. Continuing with his character Zach in the spin-off series, Dylan was integral to On Deck's success too. Despite appearing with Cole in the show, over time it became obvious that Dylan was gaining weight, which made them easier to identify. Now in his mid-20s, Dylan has shed his past baby weight and grown his hair out to his shoulders. At Venice's film festival, he and his longtime girlfriend Barbara Palvin made headlines for their memorable fashion moment. For Noah B's White Noise film world premiere, the couple stylishly popped up together on the Italian red carpet. Dylan and Barbara first started seeing one another in 2018, and by 2019 the couple moved in together to solidly root their relationship. Taking our 10th spot is Frankie Muniz. Frankie portrayed the show's namesake Malcolm. Frankie's extensive run on the show never stopped his bag either, as he kept up with appearances and starring roles in a slew of movie and television series like MGM's Agent Cody Banks' double feature films and Sharknado 3. Some of Frankie's more recent works include Jonathan and the Black String from 2018 and Mike in Another Day from 2016. Lately, Frankie has been opening up more about his past and revealed specifically to People about his severe memory loss issues from the mid-2000s. Outside of starring roles, Frankie was a part of the 2017 season of Dancing with the Stars and formerly worked as a host for the franchise's single-season junior version. March 2020 saw Frankie reveal he and his wife Paige had gotten married, later announcing that the couple were expecting their first child in the fall. As of now, Frankie is all in for a potential revival of Malcolm in the Middle, and he's not the only cast member in support of this idea. As the main teen star in the Emmy Award-winning sitcom, Frankie exposed in a Fox News interview that his old co-star Bryan Cranston was busy working on gathering the cast for a reunion. Quote, "He's kind of writing the script and getting everything rolling, so there might be something." When questioned on whether he would participate in the project, Frankie was 100% ready for it, continuing with, "When I was on Malcolm, I was just so excited to be working on a show, but also in that same sense, when the show ended, I kind of left the business for a little bit. I started doing other things. I was racing cars, I joined a band, I was touring all over. I opened some businesses and I got to experience so many amazing things in my life, which now at this point has made me able to reflect and look back and be so appreciative of the experience." If you've ever seen an episode of Malcolm in the Middle, give today's video a quick like. Taking our 9th spot is Bryan Cranston. Of course, this list wouldn't be complete without Hal, the leading father of the series, played by Bryan himself. Over the years, this actor has gone on to star in various hit shows and movies, including two of his best-known roles as Walter White for Breaking Bad and Jack O'Donnell for Argo. His most recent TV return was Through Your Honor, which later got renewed prior to him kickstarting the potential return of Malcolm in the Middle. The announcement for the limited series' relaunch detailed that Bryan was set to return earlier this year for its second season, featuring 10 episodes. There was even further confirmation that he was returning to his Golden Globe-nominated role of New Orleans judge as Michael Desiato. Despite fans' hopes for Bryan to reprise Walter White as well, he's since refused. Back in June, Bryan revealed he was diagnosed with illness during unprecedented times, but described feeling very lucky to have donated his plasma to help others. Taking our 8th spot is Justin Burfield. The 36-year-old actor is still most well known for his older sibling role as Reese on the show. Following the end of the series, Justin continued to act in a handful of jobs, dabbling in a few while working on the sitcom that made him famous, and had a couple of guest appearances in films and TV shows. He also finished a direct-to-video movie. Justin began producing on the side around this era as well. His professional credits are listed as actor, producer, director, and screenwriter, and he wrapped up his last project in 2012 according to IMDb. Per them, his next producing project is a TVV small screen series titled Muscle Shoals. Still, Justin has taken a noticeable backseat in Hollywood while he focuses on his personal life nowadays. Before this, he made an appearance on an episode of Sons of Tuscan. However, this is his last listed credit in the industry before his hiatus. Despite Justin remaining tight-lipped about his current private life, he did reveal back in May 2020 that he was a new father to a baby girl. He and his wife Liza got married prior to the birth of their child. On Justin's Instagram, his profile is flooded with adorable pictures of him and his daughter, whose face is covered in each of them. His bio also proudly states dad/actor. Taking our 7th spot is Jane Kaczmarek. The now 66-year-old actress portrayed Lois Wilkerson in the series. After Malcolm in the Middle, Jane fulfilled a handful of acting jobs, and even recently stayed busy with the growing list of appearances she made. Some of her most recent portrayals contain her additions to Jake and the Neverland Pirates as Red Jessica, Wolves at the Door playing Mary, and a feature in Six Balloons acting as Gloria. Furthermore, Jane appeared in the 2020 film Killing Eleanor. In 2010, Jane and her ex-husband Bradley Whitford got divorced. Most recently, Jane was involved in Mixed-ish back in 2020 under the role of Eleanor. Taking our 6th spot is Eric Purcellivant, who played Dewey Wilkerson on the show. Since the sitcom's ending in 2006, Eric was accredited for numerous roles, including ones for Arthur and the Invisibles, Finding Nemo, Christmas with the Cranks, and 12. After the latter, however, Eric pretty much ghosted the industry to live a calmer life off-screen. Being another cast member Christopher, who dipped out of the limelight a couple of years after the family's show's closing, Eric saw considerable traction in the industry for his part as Hal and Lois's youngest son, later earning him 2 nominations for his work at the Young Artist Awards. Taking our 5th spot is Christopher Masterson. Christopher was given the role of Francis in the series. Like several of his former co-stars, he stayed busy in his career in the years following. A few of his most up-to-date portrayals are in Bad Roomies, Beneath the Leaves, and I'd Like to Be Alone Now. The summer of 2019 saw Christopher and his wife Yolanda tying the knot, and the two eventually disclosed the expectance of their child in November 2020 on Yolanda's Instagram. More recently, Christopher informed Kevin Pollak on his show about one of the sweet gestures the actor of his on-screen dad conducted. Christopher recalled his past acting life during an interview in which he gave confirmation that the Hal Greaves episode was directed by him thanks to Brian. Christopher described the situation through their conversations regarding his desire to direct, something he casually made known to Brian back then. From there, reports state that Christopher was soon asked by Brian every season what his plans were in regard to directing. He reminisced about the Breaking Bad actor being an encouraging source to help him land a job as a director on the sitcom, recalling how daunting the pressure was on him at one point. Christopher admitted to not sleeping during the run, but also stated that it was truly buzzing because of the experience Brian had such a major part in. Taking our 4th spot is David Anthony Higgins. David was known for his role as Craig Feldspar during the series' run, and he proceeded to stay an active presence in Hollywood from there. The longtime actor added parts like Stan in American Horror Story, Reginald Bitters in Big Time Rush, and Jerry in Be Positive to his somewhat loaded resume. In terms of his personal life, David served as an avid critic of the former president of the United States through frequent tweets about him, where he was constantly encouraging spectators to vote ahead in his last featured election. Unfortunately, outside of this, not much has been reported about David since. Taking our 3rd spot is Craig Lamar Traylor. Like a few of his other Malcolm in the Middle co-stars, not much has been heard of Craig since his time on the show came to an end. However, while it was still airing, the actor played Stephen Kernavan on the show. Craig also appeared in a variety of movies, but his last credited portrayal was from the 2012 drama film This Bitter Earth, playing Tyrone MC. According to social media, Craig is now a wire artist who creates jewelry and other cool designs. Taking our 2nd spot is Dakota Fanning. As a famous child actress, Dakota was quite literally dominating the scene at one point. She's known for a large portion of roles like starring in the Twilight Saga, The Secret Life of Bees, The Runaways, Sweet Home Alabama, Coraline, Uptown Girls, Charlotte's Web, and Hound Dog films. Dakota made her one-time appearance in the sitcom during the halfway point of the 2nd season for episode 13. In it, she played Emily, the 4-year-old daughter of the Focal family's newest neighbors. Despite Dakota's outward appearance of cute, small, and friendly, fans got a taste of the actress's wilder side when her character bit Reese's leg. Still remaining a regular in front of the cameras after this, Dakota also saw a portrayal in the crime film American Pastoral. This would be its director, Ewan McGregor's motion picture debut, which was adapted from his 1997 novel of the same name and premiered at Toronto's International Film Festival. It was released limitedly through theaters from Lionsgate and was later met with a massive unideal reviews from critics. However, in the movie, Dakota took on the role of 16-year-old Meredith, with other cast members including stars like Rupert Evans, Peter Rieger, and Jennifer Connelly. Dakota was also cast for the big screen adaptation of The Bell Jar in 2018 and the 2018 heist comedy Ocean's 8. Taking our 1st spot is Hayden Panettiere. Like Dakota, Hayden also guest starred on Malcolm in the Middle. The actress is mostly known for her Nashville, Bring It On All or Nothing, and I Love You Beth Cooper roles. On the Fox series, Hayden was cast for a recurring role as Reese and Malcolm's Sassfilled classmate Jessica. Even though the actress only made a 4-episode appearance, Hayden made the most of her pesky character. While she prepped to act out this portrayal, Hayden would regularly keep her hair unbrushed to maintain Jessica's largely frizzy style. Now, however, the actress has opened up for the first time about custody of her only child Kaya, as well as having Kaya live with her ex. In a fresh appearance on Facebook Watch's Red Table Talk, the actress detailed to co-host Jada, Adrian, and guest host Kelly Osbourne that the experience of handing over custody to her only child was deeply upsetting. From a clip of her RTT conversation, people exclusively shared that Hayden recalled signing the custody papers as the quote, most heartbreaking thing she's ever had to do in her life. Honorable mention of additional stars like Emma Stone, Cloris Leachman, Jason Alexander, George Takei, Christopher Lloyd, David Cassidy, and Susan Sarandon, who were also great inclusions to the guest star portions of the show.